Have you ever felt that strange tingling in your feet? Like tiny pins gently poking your skin, or maybe a burning sensation that shows up at night just when you're trying to relax? At first, it feels small, easy to ignore, something you brush off as just age. But then days pass, and it doesn't go away. Instead, it slowly grows into something you start thinking about more often, something that follows you from the moment you wake up to the moment you lie down again. You begin to notice little changes in your daily life. Getting out of bed feels different. Walking across the room takes more attention than it used to. You might even catch yourself holding onto furniture or walking more carefully than before. It's not just physical anymore. It starts to affect how confident you feel, how safe you feel in your own body, and that quiet fear begins to creep in. This is how neuropathy often enters life after 60. Slowly, quietly, without warning. One day, it's just a mild tingling. The next, it's numbness, burning, or even sharp, shooting pain in your feet and legs. Sometimes it feels like your feet are wrapped in invisible layers, like you can't fully feel the ground beneath you. And that disconnect can be deeply frustrating because walking, something that once felt automatic, now feels uncertain. But here's something most people never get told. Neuropathy isn't simply about nerves wearing out because of age. There's something deeper happening inside your body, something that is still very much alive and capable of change. And this is where things start to become hopeful, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Because what if I told you that your body still has the ability to improve those nerve signals, to bring back some of that lost sensation, to reduce that burning and tingling? And even more surprising, what if it didn't require intense workouts, painful routines, or anything complicated at all? In fact, it might come down to one simple movement. Something so gentle you could do it sitting in a chair. It sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? And that's exactly why so many people overlook it. They think the solution has to be difficult or time-consuming, so they either avoid trying or they give up too quickly. But sometimes the body doesn't respond to force. It responds to the right kind of signal, given consistently and patiently. Think about your typical day for a moment. How many hours do your feet stay still? Sitting, resting, watching TV, lying down? It all adds up. And during those long periods of stillness, blood flow slows down, nerve activity decreases, and that tingling or numbness begins to grow stronger without you even realizing it. It's not your fault. It's simply how the body reacts over time. But here's where the biggest mistake happens. Most people believe they need to push themselves hard to fix this, to walk longer, exercise more, stretch intensely. And because that feels overwhelming or even painful, they end up doing nothing at all. And in that stillness, the condition quietly worsens day by day. So what if the answer isn't about doing more, but about doing something small, something specific, and doing it the right way? In the next part, you'll discover what's really happening inside your nerves and circulation, explained in the simplest way possible. And once you understand this, everything about your symptoms will start to make sense. Type continue for next part. As you start to look deeper into what's happening inside your body, something important becomes clear. That tingling, numbness, or burning feeling isn't random at all. It's your body trying to send a message, but the signal isn't traveling the way it should. Think of your nerves like tiny electrical wires running from your brain all the way down to your feet. Every step you take, every surface you touch, every change in temperature, all of it depends on these signals moving smoothly back and forth. Now imagine what happens when those wires become weak, blocked, or slowed down. The message gets distorted. Instead of a normal sensation, you feel tingling. Instead of comfort, you feel burning. Instead of stability, you feel unsteady. And over time, if nothing changes, those signals become quieter and less reliable. That's when the numbness starts to take over and simple movements begin to feel uncertain. But here's where it gets interesting. And this is something many people overlook. The problem isn't always that the nerves are permanently damaged. In many cases, especially as we age, it's that the environment around those nerves has changed. Blood flow becomes slower, oxygen supply decreases, and the tiny muscles in your feet and legs stop activating the way they used to. And when that happens, the nerves don't get the support they need to function properly. Think about a garden hose for a moment. If water flows freely, everything works perfectly. But if there's a slight bend, a blockage, or low pressure, the flow becomes weak or uneven. Your nerves work in a very similar way. They rely on good circulation and regular movement to stay active. Without it, they begin to quiet down, and that's when symptoms appear. Now here's the part most people don't realize. Every time you move your feet and legs in a certain way, you're not just moving muscles. You're actually helping pump blood back through those tiny vessels, delivering oxygen and nutrients directly to your nerves. You're also waking up those communication pathways, reminding your body how to send and receive signals properly. But here's where the biggest mistake happens. Most people move too little, or they move in ways that don't actually activate these pathways. Walking alone isn't always enough, especially if it's slow or limited. And intense exercise can sometimes feel too difficult or even risky, leading people to avoid movement altogether. So the nerves remain understimulated and the cycle continues. This is why that one simple movement becomes so powerful. It's not about effort or intensity, it's about precision. It targets the exact areas that need activation, gently encouraging circulation, re-engaging muscles, and most importantly, sending a clear signal back to your nervous system. Over time, this can help reduce that constant tingling, ease the burning sensation, and even improve your balance. And there's something else you need to understand. Your body is always adapting. Even after 60, even after years of discomfort, it still responds to the signals you give it. The question is not whether change is possible. It's whether you're giving your body the right kind of input to create that change. Because once you do, things can begin to shift in ways you didn't expect. In the next part, I'm going to show you exactly what this simple movement is, how to do it safely, and how to make it a natural part of your daily routine without stress or strain. And once you start practicing it, you may begin to notice something surprising happening in your feet and legs. Now let's talk about the part you've been waiting for. The one simple movement that can begin to wake up those nerves, improve circulation, and bring relief to your feet and legs. And the best part is, you don't need any equipment, you don't need to stand, and you don't need to strain your body in any way. You can do this right now, sitting comfortably in a chair. Sit with your back supported and your feet flat on the ground. Now gently lift your toes upward while keeping your heels on the floor. Hold that position for a moment. And then slowly lower your toes back down. Next, do the opposite. Keep your toes on the ground and gently lift your heels. Hold and lower. That's it. It may feel almost too simple, but this small rocking movement between your heels and toes is doing something very powerful inside your body. As you repeat this motion slowly and smoothly, you're activating the muscles in your feet and lower legs that often stay asleep for most of the day. These muscles act like tiny pumps, helping push blood back up through your legs. With each gentle lift and drop, circulation improves, bringing fresh oxygen and nutrients directly to those nerves that have been struggling. But here's the key. It's not about doing it fast or forcefully. In fact, slower is better. When you move slowly, your brain pays more attention to the movement, and that strengthens the connection between your nerves and your muscles. It's almost like you're retraining your body to remember how to communicate properly again. You can start with just a few minutes, maybe while watching TV or sitting after a meal. Gradually, you can increase the time as it becomes more comfortable. Many people find that doing this 2 to 3 times a day makes a noticeable difference over time. And sometimes, even during the first session, they feel a slight warmth or tingling, but this time it feels different. It feels like something is waking up. But here's where many people make a mistake. They try it once or twice and expect instant results. When they don't feel a dramatic change right away, they stop. And that's exactly what prevents progress. Your body didn't develop these symptoms overnight, and it won't reverse them overnight either. But with consistency, this simple movement can begin to create small changes that build over time. Now, if you want to take it one step further, you can gently rotate your ankles in slow circles while sitting. This adds another layer of movement, helping activate different parts of the foot and improving flexibility. Again, slow and controlled is the key. There's no need to rush, no need to push through discomfort. And here's something important to remember. Try to stay aware of how your feet feel during the movement. Even if the sensation is faint, even if it's just a slight awareness, that's your nervous system responding. That awareness itself is part of the healing process because it means the connection is not lost. It's just been quiet. Over time, as you continue this daily habit, you may notice subtle improvements. Standing may feel a little more stable. Walking may feel a little more natural. The burning or tingling may begin to ease, even if just slightly at first. And those small changes, they matter more than you think. Because once your body starts responding, it often continues in that direction. as long as you keep giving it the right signals. In the final part, I'm going to share some hidden mistakes that can quietly make neuropathy worse, along with a few simple habits and tips that most people completely overlook, but can make a real difference in how your feet and legs feel each day. Now there's something very important you need to hear. Because even if you start doing this simple movement every day, there are a few hidden habits that can quietly slow down your progress. And most people don't even realize they're making these mistakes. One of the biggest ones is staying still for too long. It may feel comfortable to sit for hours, especially if you're tired or in pain, but long periods without movement can reduce blood flow even further. Your nerves begin to switch off again, undoing the small progress you've been building. This doesn't mean you need to push yourself hard. It simply means giving your body gentle movement throughout the day, even if it's just a few minutes at a time. Another common issue is ignoring hydration. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but your nerves depend on proper fluid balance to function well. When the body is slightly dehydrated, circulation becomes less efficient, and those tingling or burning sensations can feel stronger. Many people over 60 don't realize they're not drinking enough water, especially if they don't feel thirsty often. And then there's footwear, something people rarely connect to nerve health. Tight shoes, hard soles, or lack of proper support can put constant pressure on sensitive areas of your feet. Over time, this can make symptoms worse, even if everything else you're doing is right. Choosing soft, supportive footwear and giving your feet some breathing space at home can make a quiet but meaningful difference. But here's where the biggest mistake happens. People wait until the discomfort becomes unbearable before they take action. They tell themselves they'll start tomorrow, or next week, or when they feel a little better. And in that waiting, the condition slowly progresses. The truth is, the earlier you begin these small habits, the more your body has a chance to respond. Now here's a tip that most people never hear. Try doing that simple heel and toe movement before getting out of bed in the morning, and again before going to sleep at night. These moments are powerful because your body is transitioning between rest and activity. By adding gentle movement at these times, you help wake up your nerves in the morning and relax them at night. You can also pair this movement with deep, slow breathing. As you inhale and exhale calmly, your body enters a more relaxed state, which can help reduce the intensity of nerve discomfort. It may seem like a small detail, but your nervous system responds strongly to calm, steady rhythms. And as days turn into weeks, something begins to change. Not all at once, not dramatically, but gradually. You may find yourself thinking less about your feet. You may notice that standing feels a little easier, walking feels a little safer, and that constant background discomfort begins to fade, even if just slightly at first. That's how real progress often looks. Quiet, steady, and deeply meaningful. So don't underestimate the power of small actions. Don't wait for the perfect time to begin. Your body is always listening, always adapting, always responding to what you do each day. And if this message helped you see your situation in a new way, take a moment to support the channel. Like the video so more people can find it, subscribe so you don't miss what comes next, and share it with someone who might be silently struggling with the same issue, because sometimes one small movement, one simple change, can be the beginning of feeling like yourself again.